So we're gonna need a clean rag, and by a clean rag I mean a old used shirt, just to clean up the surface a little bit, get it prepared. Oh yeah, that's enough. Some acetone. What I'm going to do, since it's been sitting for a while, is I'm actually going to clean the cylinders with acetone as well, because I can see some dirt and stuff. There's probably, most likely, some grit from the sandpaper stuck to the oil that was on there. Like I said, I kind of cringed and kicked myself when I remembered that I did not clean the deck surface before I assembled the engine, because I knew what I had to do. But since this is a sended block, we're sending it. I did the best I can. I'm not going to hold a grudge against myself. It is what it is. Mistakes happen. I'm just going to do the best I can. How much acetone do you need? Alright. Nice clean surface. And then we're just going to oil those cylinders up. And I found, well, I couldn't find the right oil that I needed. Thought I had a bottle of regular motor oil laying around, but I got some transmission fluid here. It'll work just fine. Yeah, it'll work just fine. It's going to help the break-in process, I promise. And I'm going to have to clean the deck again. I got oil all over it. It's okay. Alright. Let's use a clean part of the rag that I haven't put oil all over. And give the block one more clean hooray. Can you get high off of acetone? I feel a little woozy here. She's good and clean. I'm gonna call that good. It's that's a 500 horsepower setup right there. All right, so that's done. I'm no longer worried about the cylinders or this area, for the matter. I know it's going to be okay. All right, so your exhaust or your dowel pins, B20 Lsvtec dowel pins, are going to go on the exhaust side because of fitment in this area. So I don't have a socket, but I do have a wrench. What size is it? I don't know, because it doesn't have a number or anything on it. It's just one of my miscellaneous Allen wrenches that I have laying around. So I can't tell you. Just find one that fits. And if you can't, go find one. Pretty sure AutoZone or Harbor Freight, somewhere, somehow, some location is going to have it. So this is hand tight. Just gonna basically hand tighten them. And that's it. Alright, so I got my copper sprayed head gasket down. Now, just going to clean up the head surface a little bit. So, here we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take all our nuts and washers. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on each of them and send them down in there. If you do that ring toss, you should be able to just drop them down in there. And they should fall into place. Got one that did it. That's okay. That's the old magnet. Try it again. Make sure that they're all down. Sometimes they'll get a little kink. You gotta help them along the way. Alright. So I had a socket specifically for this, and I cannot find it at the moment. I know I bought it when I was at the other garage. I seem to have misplaced it, so I just found a Craftsman half-inch extension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab just a tad bit of grease on the threads and the bottom on the nut. If you're quick enough, should be able to get it down in there. I'm hoping this socket is deep enough. Pretty sure it should be. And just keep on doing that. A little bit on the threads. It don't got to be anything crazy. Not a lot. Come on, Shirley. Should have did it like I did the first one. I get for being lazy. What is going on with that one? There it is. Alright, so just to speed things up, I'm going to lube them all up, pre-lube them. you literally, all I do is I take a little dab, just like that bead. I shove it inside the thread, and I take another little bead, put it on the edge, smear it, done. You don't need a whole lot. The dab will do you. It's going to spread throughout the threads anyway. I see videos of people just putting globs of this ARP lubricant, and it's like, you don't need that much. Just because they give you the whole pack doesn't mean you have to use the whole pack. Facts. Hence why I have so many of these packets laying around. I've literally probably used the same packet maybe 4 or 5 times already. Damn it, Carol. You gotta commit. Known ARP head studs. I'm gonna have to steal a couple things from the B16 head, or the head that's on the B16 block. Like the Lsvtec solenoid. I'm pretty sure I'm missing one more sensor over here. I think maybe right here, maybe. Not sure. Not all the way sure. Damn it, Tom. We gotta run away. Gotta clean it up now. Don't want none of that junk in there. The only junk we want was a junk in the trunk. Am I right? Alright, And it was a 19. Hooray. Let's try to maintain that curvature. From my understanding, these things don't have to be that tight. They're aluminum. So, snug is key. Snug is love. Boom. Alright, so that's on. I don't have to worry about that. Pretty sure that's tight. I'm not going to mess with it because it has our TV on it. So now let's put the cams on. Now, if you get confused on what cam is what, one cam is going to have a notch for the distributor that always goes on the back side. If you can't tell which side is the distributor, you shouldn't be working on the Angel-y. It's a good idea to get the engine to top dead center. Pistons, cylinder 1, top dead center, just because that way when you put the cams on, you line them up, everything's going to be ready to go as far as the for the time belt and all that. So that's pretty much lined up good there. I'll leave the wrench on there. And the cam gears, the stock ones, are going to have an up mark. And then you're going to line the notches with each other in both cams. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. Come on, don't stress it. Just build it. What's the worst that can happen? You learn the lesson? Don't be scared of learning the lesson, guys. So they're not going to want to line up directly. Just get them somewhat. These are always numbered as well. This is number 4. You'll see it right there. They come back from the front of the engine being over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that I notice missing this pin, you don't want to assemble this without this this bad boy here. And I do have it, it's in the car. Just remember, let me go run and get that. Because if you don't, you're not going to have any whole pressure to the head. Alright guys, so As long as this line lines up right here, and these two line up here pretty straight, and these ones right here line up pretty flush to the edge of the block. What I used to do when I first started is take a feeler gauge, lay it flat, and just try to see if it lines up. As long as it's pretty close, it's going to line up. The water pump doesn't matter because it's just going to sit there and do its thing. But the rest of it does matter. Alright, so now what's left to do is we have to turn the engine counterclockwise 3 teeth. What I usually do is take this teeth right here, the tooth that's on, that lines up, and just count 1, 2, 3, and then line the third tooth with the arrow and send it that way. You can do it 2 ways. You can try to tighten this bolt enough where you can turn the engine, or you can put the dampener back on. Usually you give it a couple taps and it should turn if you go easy. Smacks. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 2 3/4. Loosened up a little bit. Alright, that's 3 teeth. Tension's pretty much good. I'm gonna snug this down. This doesn't have to be super tight. People fucking crank these things down like they're fucking holding down the Empire State Building and shit. And they don't need to be that tight. That's how you strip those things and the blocks get ruined because you really can't do anything with them. So now that it's all together, what I'm going to do is rotate the engine to make sure I don't feel anything funny. And I'm going to listen closely to make sure I hear sucking and blowing on the cylinders. I'm going to go ahead and just torque this down while I'm here. It's just going to make it easier to turn the engine. I believe it's 130 foot-pounders. It's not, that's what it's going to be. Don't forget your Loctite. You always want to put some Loctite on these. I have the tool for this, so it's going to make it easy for me. I would invest in this thing. Just makes your life a whole lot easier. Now what we're gonna do, spin the engine and pray I didn't mess anything up. Alright. I don't have any spark plugs in, so I can't listen for the compression. I honestly have no complaints. I have to, this is the valve cover I'm using. I have to take it all, take all the old paint off and repaint it and put a new Louis built sticker on there. Make it look pretty. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm exhausted. I hope you learned something and take away something from this video. The next thing I'm probably going to be doing is just pulling out the V16 out of the car and seeing what parts I have to swap over to this, because from what it looks like, I have to swap a couple bolts over. The VTEC solenoid, obviously, and just a couple other miscellaneous parts here and there. So yeah, that's going to be the next thing we're going to be doing, is taking that motor out and just basically finishing this one up, getting it ready to go in, and we're going to go from there. So thanks guys for watching. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Thank you.